Hey everyone, welcome to the network lobby. This is your instructor Eddie, and today we will be continuing the traceroute series. In the previous video, we looked at how traceroute works, what is it for, and we also saw an example and captured it on Wireshark. Let us continue. Let me open up command prompt and show you that I have done a traceroute to google.com. This is where we left off last time. And here's the output for the traceroute, and the trace is complete as you notice. And I have been able to reverse lookup google.com as well to my local edge server. I have captured all of that information over here in Wireshark. As you notice, I've put in a display filter for ICMP. So let's look at this in detail this time. As you see over here, I have hop 1, hop 2, hop 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, right? So for each of these hops, as you notice, this is a different network, this is a different one, and so on, right? And my PC is on this network, which is 192.168.0.1. Let us look at this capture as well. So as you notice that traceroute is based on ICMP. It uses ICMP messages, which is echo ping request. Let's look at that in detail over here. As you see, for this ping request, you already have a response which says no response seen. So the response that we received was not a ping reply, but a time to live exceeded message. The reason was, let us look at this packet once more, and let us look at the IP header over here and the time to live field. As you notice, the system purposefully put in time to live as 1. So what will happen is that when it goes to the next router or the next hop, which is 192.168.0.1, this is my gateway, it reduces this number by 1. So that comes down to 0, and at this point, any networking equipment is supposed to return back a time to live exceeded message and not take the packet any forward, even if it knows about the destination. As you notice, my system did 3 echo ping request messages, and it got 3 responses, a time to live exceeded message from the same destination, 192.168.0.1. The same can be seen over here. One was returned at 273 milliseconds, the second at 79 milliseconds, the third at 22 milliseconds. And as you'll notice, the same thing was repeated with everyone. You see destination unreachable messages. I'm pretty sure you wondered what those are. I'll come to that in a little while. If you notice, the ping request was sent again, and this time the TTL value was set to 2. Same thing repeated over here, TTL now 3. So every time it goes to the next hop because of the TTL, and it is returned with the time to live exceeded message over here as you see. The same thing was repeated. And at the end, you'll notice that there is a ping request, a reply, a request, a reply, a request, a reply. And this was for the final destination because over here, the time to live is set to 8, but the packet has already reached its destination, which is this server, and this server resolves to google.com. Let's come back to the destination unreachable messages. Now these destination unreachable messages, let's look at them in detail. Let's look at the ICMP packet. And as you notice, it has an IPv4 header, which means there is another packet that it has responded to. Oh, it also has a UDP header and a NetBIOS header. So this UDP source port 137 and destination port 137 as well. And that is specifically used by NetBIOS, a NetBIOS name service. And my system is actually turned on to do this. and most of the Windows systems are. Let me show you how to turn this off. So I go into Network and Sharing Center. And I go into my connections, into Properties, and here into TCP IPv4, Properties again, and Advanced. Inside this, there is a Wins tab, and as you notice in the NetBIOS settings, it is set to default. This is the value you'll probably have on your computer as well. This says, use NetBIOS setting from the DHCP server. If static IP address is used or the DHCP server does not provide the NetBIOS setting, enable NetBIOS over TCP IP. As you notice, if I look at this in detail, it states that if a static IP address or the DHCP server does not provide me a NetBIOS setting, which is the case, enable NetBIOS over TCP IP. And if I disable this, I will no longer see those messages that were sent by my system. Let's go back to the capture. And as you notice that the system or the particular hop, which is this or this or this, none of them actually support NetBIOS, which is why they deny this using ICMP destination unreachable message. Another type of ICMP error feedback that we are seeing over here. So the gist is, we saw two types of error feedback messages from ICMP. One is the TTL exceeded, and notice how smartly my system used the TTL value to find out each and every hop. You might be wondering why this is request timeout. Why did not I get a response of ICMP from this particular host or machine? This could very well be a firewall. Firewalls usually do not respond to ICMP. That makes them difficult to be tracked on the network. Similarly, we saw another message, which is destination unreachable, which is port unreachable. This was due to my NetBIOS setting on my system, and none of them are Windows machines for sure, and that is why they responded with destination unreachable messages. And this brings us to the end of the ICMP series and traceroute. Hope this video tutorial was helpful for you. All of the other links are present in the description below. See you all in the next video. Happy learning.